I want a one campus. Tell me what I want. Campus connection. Tell me what I want. Campus connection. And that's a one campus. Young people are hot bank campus. Come on, tell me what I want. Campus connection. Tell me what I want. Hey, I want to know everything. Got to get your interviews. Yeah, where them a tell you education news. Sit down and listen. Have nothing to lose. Plus, you know them must bring something for you. Word of the day. That's something for your use. Bread of life. That I know my food.
Hey, welcome to another campus connection. Want to know what I go on campus? You're at the right place at the right time every Tuesday. Right here on Campus Connection, we tell you what's going on the campuses in high schools, colleges, universities, right across Jamaica. And you're tuned into the family station. And I am Floyd Wilson. And as I said, this program is designed for all things school and all things young people. And let me just say, welcome you all to another show here for another Tuesday. I am not alone. I have my co-host with me, the energetic man himself, Reverend Singer Sam.
Hey, brethren, what's going on? Yeah, very good evening.
Good to see you.
Indeed. Welcome to you, one and all. I'm Stevenson Samuels, and I want to thank you for joining us inside another episode here on Campus Connection. Every day there is something newsworthy, and as new information arises, believe me, we are here to connect with you and connect you with those with the information. So today, coming up in the program, we will have, listen to this, the Bread of Life, our usual feature, brought to us today by Upper Sixth Form student, Russell, we're going to hear from you, the St. Catherine High School president of the ISCF. And then we're going to be having our education news and bulletin brought to us by our partner for the month of April. And from last week, you heard that was Raheem Betty. And Raheem is a final year student at the Northern Caribbean University. Well, we will also be having our campus tune. And we have another new one for you this week. New music, Floyd.
Yeah, looking forward to that. And as usual, we'll be having our Let's Talk About It segment. And that's where we have a discussion on a topical issue facing our students. So this week, it's all about mental health. And that this is the new epidemic right now. You know, mental health, a lot of people are locked in inside, and we don't really know how COVID is going to affect persons. We're going to have some persons this evening. So our guest this evening would be Miss Bathsheba. I'm sure she's the assistant director there at the Jamaica Mental Health Advocacy Network. She will be with us, and also the founder of Dope Empowerment. She's an educator and educational psychologist. That's Veral Billet. Veral is also, that was Bathsheba Shaw. She's also the founder of Dope Empowerment. I will have Veral Veral is going to be, Veral is the associate clinical psychologist and a member of the think tank mental health at the JA advisory board. So we have two individuals here who will definitely be able to share with us about mental health. Looking forward to it.
Well, we want you also to stay tuned for our 10-minute feature dubbed The Student and the Vaccine, where we will connect with some students who took the jab. Also, to connect with us this evening inside the show, our testimonial feature called I Tried Jesus, You Should Try Him Too. And this is where students encourage other students to try Jesus too, because they did. So really, be really here with us. Stay tuned and stay connected with us all evening. We invite you to connect with us on our WhatsApp line at 876-997-3125. That's 876-997-3125. And maybe you could just go in the WhatsApp chat right now and talk to us about you taking that jab. If you're a student and you took the jab, I want you to go into the WhatsApp right now and tell us what was your experience. What has been your experience? That's 997-3125. If you took the job, please just go and tell us what was your experience. And then, even if you didn't take the job, we would like to know, what are your thoughts about the vaccine? All right? What are your thoughts? Let's know what your thoughts are. We're also live on Facebook and also YouTube. Did you know that? Of course. So if you want to see how handsome Floyd is looking, way, way more handsome than I am, then you'd want to go to Facebook or to YouTube to have a look at the handsome gentleman. Well, be sure to connect with us. We are looking forward to hearing from you. But right now, as you go to WhatsApp to connect and to say something to us about the job, about your opinion on the vaccine, we will now take a break. And guess what? We're not going to leave you alone. There are some messages that are coming to you. And immediately after that, me and some bridging Floyd will be joining you.
You're too modest. You're too modest.
From Love 101 as it pertains to funeral services and burials for the period April 13 through to May 4. No funeral service should be conducted, whether at a place of worship, funeral home, or at any other place, and no funeral processions or burial processions are permitted. During the period April 13 through to May 4, the following shall apply to burials.
No more than 15 persons at a time shall be permitted at a burial site. Burials may only be conducted on Mondays through to Fridays between the hours of 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. and should not exceed 30 minutes. That was a reminder from Love 101 as it pertains to funeral services and burials through to May 4.
Jamaica and its workforce are advancing quickly. Life-changing opportunities are arising. You need training and support. We are the Renewed Heart NSTA Trust, committed to providing new and emerging skills training and opportunities. Come to Heart. We'll help you claim your place in the workforce of the future.
Life comes at you fast and it can hit hard. Apply for the Credit Union Prepaid MasterCard from C&WJ with chip and PIN protection. Need a card with a personal line of credit for emergencies? We have that. Need a card you can use to shop online for that must-have item? We have that. The community and workers of Jamaica Prepaid MasterCard. All the convenience of a MasterCard. Discover the benefits of belonging. Colgate Triple Action. 3 benefits for a deep clean. As a mother, you always want to give the best to your family and to make them happy. With Colgate Triple Action, you give them 3 reasons to smile. Cavity protection, whiter teeth, and fresh breath. A unique formula with a minty flavor they will love. Colgate Triple Action. Find it at your favorite store.
Young people are got hard bang campus. Come on, tell me what I want. Campus connection, tell me what I want. Hey, I want to know everything. Got to get your interviews. Yeah, where them a tell you education news. Sit down and listen, have nothing to lose. Plus, you know them must bring something to you.
That's right, that's right. You are right inside Campus Connection here on Love 101 FM. And guess what? Am I Steve or am I Floyd? I'm Stevenson. That's right. Stevenson Samuels here. And with me is the ever calm and cool, intelligent and smart co-host, Floyd Wilson. And it's now time for the bread of life. This is really a reflective piece on scripture, and it is brought to us today by our sixth form, and may I say upper sixth form student, Roxanne Russell. And Roxanne is from the St. Catherine High School, She is actually president of the ISCF. Roxanne, it's your time. Over to you.
Okay. Afternoon, everyone. So our brother's life will be taken from Daniel chapter 4, verses 2 and 3. I thought it good to show the signs and wonders that the high God has brought towards me. How great are his signs, and how mighty are his wonders. His kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and his dominion is from generation to generation. His kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and his dominion is from generation to generation. And his dominion is from generation to generation. So this is the testimony of King Nebuchadnezzar. And King Nebuchadnezzar was very cruel. He was very prideful. He was shrewd and quick to anger. And most importantly, he was a sinner, just like everybody else. And just like everyone else, God loved him, and God wanted him to be a part of his kingdom, to be in a relationship with him. And so God used his servant to bring him closer to him. He humbled him. And that was how King Nebuchadnezzar came to know God. And when you get to know God and you recognize who God is, when you recognize that you get taken away with his love, his joy, his grace, his power, his mercy, and you just can't keep it inside. You just want to share it. And that is what it means all about. When you love Christ, you just want to share the good news. Remember, God loves everyone. He wants to have a relationship with everyone. And when you have a relationship with God, you can't keep the joy inside. So that's the bread of life. Thank you.
Wow. Wow, thank you so much, Roxanne, for that. I tell you, Rev, we never know what we're going to get when we invite these young people to come and to share in our Bread of Life segment. And Roxanne, I think that's the first time we have a Bread of Life, and it started off with that, time of worship, in praise, and then she went into an encouraging word. Roxanne, I think she's gone, but
No, I'm here.
sure.
I'm sorry.
Yes, Roxanne.
Roxanne.
No, she's still here. You have made yourself, you made your school very proud, Roxanne. And, I can see that you are a worshiper and that you love the Lord. You love the Lord very much. And thank you for sharing with us in our Bread of Life segment.
I'm happy to do God's work, so it's no problem at all.
All right, ISCF President. That's ISCF President there at the St. Catherine High School. Roxanne Russell, she shared with us in the Bread of Life Rev. She sounds like a worshiper or a pastor in the making. We wish her all the best. Well, Rev, it's now time for the education news. And it's time for our bulletin also news. And so we have brand new stories in our education news and in our bulletin. And our education news is brought to us this week for partner for the month of April. That's Raheem Betty. He's a final year student there at the Northern Caribbean University. And my brother Raheem, take it away for us.
Hi, welcome to Education News here inside Campus Connection. I am Raheem Betty. The government has given ISA approval on Friday for the staging of the ISA Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Athletics Championship, CHAMP. ISA President Keith Wellington welcomes the news and says it allows the body to move forward with the planning, but he hopes will be a safe and successful event. Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPM, stated that the government has given the green light to stage the ISA Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Athletics Championships between May 11 and 15. Champs was initially set for March 23 to 27, but a spike in COVID-19 cases, saw a tightening of movement across the island by the government, pushing back the date provisionally for April. But further tightening of curfews then forced ISA to consider rescheduling the 5-day event once more. A total of 51 students from 9 tertiary institutions who are facing financial difficulties have been awarded bursaries totaling $4.5 million, courtesy of the Spanish Jamaican Foundation, SJF. The recipients, who include pre-trained Spanish teachers, persons who study Spanish, and students of hospitality services, were selected based on their academic performance, financial need, community service, knowledge of the Spanish language, and comportment in an interview. They are from the Shortwood Teachers College, Church Teachers College, Sam Sharp Teachers College, Montego Bay Community College, Hart College of Hospitality Services, University of the West Indies, Brownstown Community College, and Bethlehem Moravian College. The students from teachers and community colleges will benefit from partial scholarships to assist with the payment of their school fees, while students of the Hart College of Hospitality Services are being provided with funds to purchase tools and equipment necessary for their courses of study. The bursaries were handed over during a virtual ceremony last Friday. It's now time for Campus Bulletin. It's National Prefix Week. April 18th through to April 24, 2021 is being observed as National Prefix Week. The Ministry of Education, Youth and Information in association with the Jamaican Prefix Association has designed this week to honor all school prefects under the theme Reimagining Purpose, Adapting to Change, Embodying Hope. For more information of how to participate in their online giveaways and activities, visit the JPA on Instagram at Prefix Association JA. And that's it for the education news and bulletin here inside Campus Connection. I am Raheem Betty.
That's right. So you have it right there. When you talk, tell persons you heard it on Love 101 FM right inside the Campus Connection. Yes, it is our education news that was brought to us today by Raheem Betty. Raheem is our student partner inside Education News for the entire month of April. And I love this approach that we are taking. Raheem partners with us for the entire month of April. Well, it's time now for our campus tune. And the tune for this week, we will be dropping something new. We really feel and believe that we're dropping something new that is buzzing. All right, listen to this tune and tell me what you think about it. All right, a tune that we believe is buzzing for our young people and indeed our campusites. Yes, Floyd.
Yeah, this one is by Jermaine Edwards and Orville Sutherland, and this one is called Serious Times.
Island worship. I said the times that we're living in, we only see the fast lane and the pretty things. It's like morals are something out of style. Fear of God, no, they know we're in we mind. What if we cry? Should I make a pass through? Tell me where you would I do? You better seek after the Father and come get your life in a harder. Father God, we're living in a serious time, so help us to keep our minds on you. It can rough sometimes, but I'm gonna fight. Oh, yeah, yeah, that's right. We're living in a serious time. So help us to keep our minds on you. It can rough sometimes, but I'm gonna fight to keep my mind on you. Yeah, keep my mind on you. Yeah. If you wake up and go down in your word, don't make social media get up on my nerves. Cause got to protect my thoughts, keep my mind on the price. So flesh I'll sacrifice just for you, Lord. Sometimes I do the things you tell me not to do, but help me in this time to be true to you. I wanna be close to you. Father God, we are living in a serious time. So help us to keep our minds on you. It get rough sometimes, but I'm gonna fight. Oh, God, that is Christ, we're living in a serious time. So help us to keep our minds on you. It get rough sometimes, but I'm gonna
Yeah. Loving that one. Yeah, we're living in some serious times, Pastor Sam. So we have to really draw on the Lord now more than ever. Loving that one. What do you think about that one? You muted, Pastor. You muted. Rev, you muted.
Yeah, man, that's true, man. We're truly living in serious times. So, it's a pretty good song. The theme is relevant and great song.
Yeah. I love it.
Well. It's time for our 10-minute feature today, dubbed The Student and the Vaccine. And we have with us Fabian Morris, who is Vice President-elect of USTAT. And we also have Mikhail, student at the Caribbean Maritime University, and Khadija from the Rex Netterford Hall chairperson. Khadija is Rex Netterford Hall chairperson at UWI, and they will be sharing their experience before and after they receive the jab. Right. And guys, are you on?
I think we have Khadija on right now.
Hi.
Not hearing any of my guys here.
Hey, Khadija.
Yeah?
Khadija is on, Rev.
Yes, Floyd, your time.
Hey, welcome, Khadija. Thanks for being with us.
Over to you, Floyd.
Thanks for being with us, Khadija, as we just have a little discussion about students and the vaccine. Thank you for representing your students, and being with us. So tell us, Khadija, how did you come up to make that decision? Did somebody talk you into taking a job? How did you go about making the decision?
So the decision, so I'm a medical science student, so I wouldn't want to say I had to, but it was relevant. So we had rotations, and most medical science students were asked to go and take the vaccine so that you can get your hours done, because we had stopped going to do our rotations because of the COVID-19 pandemic. So they said, just go get your vaccines and then you can start restructuring the clinical. So I decided on my own that I would go and take it.
Okay. So being a medical student, you understand the parameters that's involved, and you are informed enough to take it. So I know many persons, they contracted the virus and then they recovered. Did you at any point in time contract COVID at any time?
Officially, no. Unofficially, yes. Honestly, there were days when I just felt like, I was dying and I had all the symptoms. Every symptom you could think of, I had it. But at that point, I think it was a mind thing. It wasn't really me having the vaccine, having the virus, but it was just a mind thing because, the pandemic and everybody's catching this virus. So it was just a mind thing. So unofficially, I had the virus, but officially on paper, no.
Yes. So officially, you said officially you didn't get it because you didn't do the test and saw results. But you saw some symptoms. All right. Fine. So tell us about the vaccine experience now. On the day that you got the vaccine, what happened? Tell us what happened on the day.
So I got the vaccine on March 17 at the hospitality hall on the UA Hospital campus. it was a very smooth transition. When you go to the door, it was 4 persons to go in at a time. So it was no more than 4 persons. And there wasn't a lot of persons because we were all scheduled. So it would have been a lot of medical science students. They were all scheduled to go in at a specific point in time. So we'd all have an appointment. So we went in. The first thing that we did was we got what's that thing? We got sensitized of what the vaccine is and the side effects. So they gave us counseling before we went to actually get the jab. Then we went to the registration. The whole process was very smooth. We went straight to registration immediately after. Then we waited a little bit. Then we went to get the vaccine. Then we waited again for the 15 minutes. During the process of going through, the nurses were amazing. They made the process feel like I was, just there for a checkup. So it was amazing there. At one point, I started saying to a nurse, I don't like needles. And she was like, what you mean? Come on, me take a picture. And there's something. It was a whole experience. If, honestly, I can't wait to go back and get my next vaccine just for the experience. And it was not long at all. The longest part of it was the 15 minutes that I had to wait.
We really have to take this time to really just say, thanks to all our healthcare, because I know you're on the way into that profession, but, big up to all the healthcare workers who are on the front line. They're there with limited resources, and they're really making it happen, and we have to make them up. So after you took the job now, I want to hear what happened. How did you feel? Were there any side effects? How did you feel after you got the vaccination?
All right, so immediately after I got the vaccine, I went on the road. I was okay for like the first half an hour. And then I started getting chills all over. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. Then when I got home, that was when it actually hit me that, something is happening in my body. So it doesn't feel as if, you're sick, but it just feels as if there's a change in your body, that something has been introduced and there's something happening inside, right? I didn't get sick. I got chills, I got a temperature, I got headaches and a little bit of joint pain, but it wasn't a lot. It wasn't how other persons, how it affects other persons. It didn't affect me like that.
Okay, good. What was the response, of like family and friends? Were they supportive of you taking the vaccine, or what was that like?
My friends were very supportive of me, taking the vaccine. My mother, on the other hand, she kind of went crazy, because she didn't know what exactly it was and stuff like that. So she was like, she's not taking anything because she don't want them putting it in her body, and she don't know why I take it. But I was just saying to her that you got me vaccinated when I was a child, and I did not know what was in it, right? So what's the difference? Well, there's a difference now, but I'm taking this because.
Khadija?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, I think we lost you. You're right, Khadija. We are a country that have implemented vaccinations from a number of years now, and it has really in terms of healthcare. I remember the polio vaccine. All of us, I have that that sign on our arms that we took vaccines over our children. But we respect everybody's views on it. So now that you have taken the vaccines, what kind of how are you? What has your behavior changed? Are you still wearing masks? Are you do you continue wearing? How do you
Everything is the same. I literally behave as if the pandemic just started. I wear my mask same way. I have my hand sanitizers in my bag same way. I do my social distancing. Everything remains the same because the reality is, one, I just have one dose. I still have to take my second dose, and two, you can still catch the virus even after you have gotten your vaccination. So I still have to take my precautions.
I take it. Thanks, Khadija. I take it that we have two of your colleagues also. We have Fabian and Mikhail on right now. Fabian, can you tell us, what was the experience like for you in terms of taking the vaccine? Fabian? I think we're still not. Is McKeel with us?
Hello?
Yes, McKeel.
Yeah, I'm hearing you. Taking the vaccine, well, I'll have to start that said that it's a bit unannounced for me. My family had gone to get the vaccine before, and they came back and told me that there's a bit going on. It's possible for me to come and get the vaccine as well. So we traveled to remember here, Principe, for the blimp. The process was fast. They gave us 4 hours to fill them out, and in no time there's a doctor with us. And before I knew it, the needle was in my arm, and I received the 3rd shot out of the 2 AstraZeneca.
So you basically just kind of piggyback on your parents getting the shot, and you just got it same time.
You could say that.
I understand. If you can get it when you can, just get it because you're feeling much safer now. What are some of the lessons for you, Mikhail, that you would take from all that's happening with the pandemic, being a student, going through taking the vaccines, and everything that's happening right now with the COVID situation? What are some of the lessons that you have learned as a student?
I think the biggest lesson I've learned, especially since taking the vaccine, is that we might not ever return to what we considered as normal. So we might not ever really sit in a classroom again. We might not ever have our friends as close as we used to. And we have to find new ways to deal with the social issues and the social interactions that we used to have. And since taking the vaccine, I can't really say that social interactions have changed just yet. But I'm hoping that when the other friends do take it, I'll get to see them more often and enjoy more time with them.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that, Mikhail. That's our prayer too. Thank you so much, Khadija, for being with us and sharing with us in this 10-minute discussion. Just talking with students and their vaccine experience. And thank you guys for being so open and for sharing with us this afternoon. I'm sure you have helped those persons who might have been on the fence whether or not they're going to take the jab or not. You guys are really informed in terms of how the process went. And so I wish you all the best as some of you guys might be into final exams or preparing for final exams. I wish you guys all the best with that and be safe and stay sanitized and be safe, guys. All right, Pastor Sam. So, the students that are taking it. It's good to hear the students them kind of sharing their views on it. I guess what's your take, Pastor Sam? You think more persons are more open to taking the vaccines now? Hearing people talk about it and sharing their experience. You think more people are open to taking the vaccines now? Seeing that some persons are taking it and now sharing their experience.
I think as time goes on, more and the vaccine gets more available, more persons will be taking. I feel persons are going to be taking it more. As more of their friends and family members are taking, people are looking on, they are watching to see the reaction that is created with people that they know, then I think over time, more persons are going to be open to taking the vaccine.
All right, great. We're going to take a break right now, and on the other side of the break, we're going to be going into our Let's Talk About It segment. We're going to be talking about vaccine and and mental health, and we have some great guests online to share with us about that. So we're going to take a break right now. We'll be right back.
See we are. I want to go on campus. We are carry the land on campus. Come on, tell me what one campus connection.
The Family Station reminds you of the updated proclamations, rules, and regulations during the period April 13 through to May 4 for services at places of worship, where worship services are provided by electronic broadcast. The number of persons permitted to gather at the place of worship should not exceed 30 persons at a time, including officiating clergy, and should be limited to the purpose of facilitating the electronic broadcast.
Physical distancing and wearing of masks must continue.
Entrance to and exit from the place of worship should be controlled so that a physical distance of 6 feet is maintained in respect of each person. No physical contact, such as hugs or handshakes, should occur between persons.
Choir gatherings and performances should not be permitted at the place of worship. A person who becomes ill or exhibits flu-like or respiratory symptoms while at the place of worship should not be permitted to remain.
During the period April 13 to May 4, no place of worship is to hold any crusade, conference, or convention. These are reminders for places of worship to be observed through to May 4, 2021 from Love
If
101.
ever there was a time to take care of your mental health, it is now.
Now, when your physical health so clearly impacts your emotional health.
Now, when we need to talk and listen to each other.
Now, when supporting each other means survival.
Now, in a time of COVID-19.
Speak up.
Speak now.
Beat COVID-19.
Call 888-NEW LIFE, 639-5433.
The world has changed drastically. Are you ready to face it? The University of the West Indies, the Caribbean's #1 university, can get you ready. Because while everyone else is trying to adapt, we are ready to prepare you for what lies ahead. So secure your future by investing in yourself and make your dreams the next big thing with a degree from the UWI Mona. Apply today at mona.uwi.edu.
I want to go on campus. We are carry the land on campus. Come on, tell me what I want. Campus connection, tell me what I want. Campus connection. I want to go on campus.
Hey, welcome back. You're tuned to the family station, and this is Love 101 FM, and this is Campus Connection. So we want to implore you to stay safe, to stay sanitized, and really at this time, because we're going through a rough time right now. We're going to be going right into our Let's Talk About It segment, and today we're going to be talking about mental health. This is the new epidemic, and so in a recent article published on October the 13th, 2020 by the JIS, it was said that it pointed out that persons between the ages of 15 and 34 are among those who are highest overall in terms of the prevalence for depression. And also we had Minister Tufton also noted that the 25% of Jamaican adolescents between the ages of 13 to 17 years old, they reportedly considered suicide. And this was from a 2017 Global School Health Survey. And actually 18% of these students actually attempted suicide. So, there's some serious stuff here to discuss.
Right. So with all of that happening, today, with COVID still being here, we believe things are still happening and will continue. So our guest, Miss Bathsheba Shaw, and also Mr. Verol Billet will be helping us to unpack some of the truth around the mental health.
Welcome, guys. Welcome, Bathsheba. Welcome, Verol. Just want to remind our listeners before we go into talking with our guests. At 6:25, we're going to be having our feature, I Tried Jesus, You Should Too. And so we're going to be hearing from one of our students who tried Jesus, and they're going to share a little bit about that experience. So let's start off with you, Ms. Shaw, Bathsheba. Just a little bit about the Jamaica Mental Health Advocacy Network, what that's all about for our listeners.
Okay, so for short, we're called JAMPAN, and we have been around since 2012. Through the leadership of our founder, Janine Brooks, we have come together as a group of young professionals, and now we have expanded where you have persons in other fields outside of psychology and social work who are just interested in mental health advocacy have joined our team. And our objective really is to educate Jamaicans and to reduce the stigma that is surrounding mental health experiences, mental health illnesses, so that we can begin to normalize those conversations and think about health in a holistic way.
Yeah, great. Thank you for that, because we do need to, raise awareness of the whole mental health issues. Veral, we have all this talk now about, COVID and how it's affected our young people. How it has affected everybody. I don't think we kind of fully grasp it as yet. But, from a clinical psychologist, from a clinical psychologist perspective, how can you just kind of help unpack for our listeners? How do you see, what's happening with COVID affecting our students' mental health?
COVID has impacted every single person probably on the planet in every single way. We have been limited, we've been restricted. The way of life has changed, and that has caused some amount of stress on everybody. And when we're talking about stress, there's a psychological component, and which seeps into the financial, the spiritual, the biological, the social aspect, which are all crucial components of our daily living. And so now we've been struggling, a lot of persons have been struggling with adjusting to what is required of us. And it's hard, it's difficult for many.
Yeah. Go ahead,
And
Rob.
so persons have been questioning, how do I cope with these limitations? I can't go out and do the things that I love to do. I can't go to the beach. I can't go and hug people. I can't visit friends. I can't go to school. Even with the school component, while there is school is for learning and getting grades and passing exams, a huge chunk of schooling is the social component for our kids. And this has been missing for a long time. And so because this is missing, they are struggling significantly to the point where they can't cope with the online learning because it is just not the same. It is just not working. It's not connecting. That real life interaction experience is causing a significant strain for our kids. And I'm not talking about just the young ones. I'm talking everybody from young right up to university, right? And then we have the parents who are adjusting with. Some have not. A lot have not adjusted to being parent, teacher, tutor, nurse, doctor, everything. They don't have the skills to do all of this. So there's a lot of frustration, a lot of anger at times. We see a lot of impatience. Persons have given up, right? And it's like, whatever is it's just what it is. I'm not hearing. Okay.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I'm saying, yeah, go ahead, Rev. Go ahead.
No, what I'm saying is it's just what it is. It has changed a lot for everybody, and a lot of persons have been struggling. And if we're struggling, there is going to be some psychological strain.
Yeah, thank you for that, Veral. Thank you for that. Rev, I know one of the things that persons might be thinking. I have my child at home. We have them home for safety reason, Bathsheba, and you might be seeing the child, but we are not mental health practitioners. What are some of the ways? What are some of the signs that parents, caregivers can look out for in terms of to see if someone is mentally ill, and how do you help such a person?
Okay, well, there are several things that you can pay attention to. It might not necessarily be that person or that child has a mental health disorder. It could be that they're having a challenging mental health experience. So, for example, that child could be going through a bit of stress and you realize that there are changes in their behavioral patterns. If that child is perhaps usually very outgoing and friendly, and now you realize that child is really withdrawn, suppressed appetite, somebody who is a foodie, no longer interested in food or anything that they usually enjoy. And if you observe this behavior over an extended period of time, it is something to be concerned about, and it is an indication for you to get some support for that particular child. Perhaps there are things that child is thinking and experiencing, especially in a time like right now, that you need to now try to have that conversation. And I think as a culture, we struggle with having open conversations about how we feel. And right now it really have an opportunity to, as parents, to engage our children in a way where we can allow them to feel like it is normal for them to express themselves, especially during a time where it is so challenging for all of us. I mean, just imagine what it is like for children.
That's right. Yeah. Thanks for that, Bachibo. Rev, I see you want to chime in. I don't, chime in from a. I know that the church is support in terms of, wellness, and so maybe you want to ask him, a little bit about, the mental health issues also.
Well, I'm just curious to find out, if if any of our two experts that are in this room have anything to say about the amount of investment we are making in mental health professionals in the school system. Do you think that we are putting enough mental health professionals in the school system today? Do we have enough of them in schools?
May I?
Go ahead, girl.
I'll be bold enough to say I don't think so. So in many primary schools, you have one guidance counselor and maybe one guidance counselor to probably 500 to over 1,000 students. And in the high school system, you'll have two guidance counselors to what, maybe 1,000 to 2,000 students or more. That is, I think, very insufficient because the guidance counselor's duties are many, and the needs of the students, especially at this time, even before COVID, it was a lot, and not all students were reached. And so I think if we had more, then duties could be divided more equally, so more students could be reached and helped.
Yeah.
Very,
I
very.
do think that
I was going to
I do
ask
think
you.
that
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I
You
do
can
think that
smile and
there's
ask.
always
You can
I
smile
do
and
think that there's
answer.
absolutely there's always room for improvement. I do know that even though within such a challenging time, the advantage that we might have in some way is that the reach that some schools perhaps would have had with contacting and engaging students for psychosocial support is a little bit wider now because there has been a lot of collaborations with counselors from various schools who have been working together, as far as I'm aware, to reach students. So yes, there can be, improvements, if we're talking about from a face-to-face perspective, absolutely. But I do think that, from where I'm sitting and what I'm aware of, there has definitely been, the sector has been taking advantage of ways in which to reach those students through collaboration, and perhaps moving forward, that is something that we should perhaps preserve, as well as adding more personnel.
Okay, excellent, excellent. Yeah, I know resources is definitely an issue. I think about the fact that wellness, mental health is a sort of, it encompasses so many different things. I also think about the community. I think back at the church again, and what the support the church gives. But also let's think about what kind of support can we give our students at this time to ensure that they're maintaining their mental health. I know parents have a role to play, but let's tell us a little bit, Beryl, about what role the community, different stakeholders can play to help our students maintain proper mental health at this time.
All right. So in terms of taking care of our mental health, I advocate and I suggest that we look at it from a more holistic perspective. So it's not just about making sure the mind is right. It's about catering to the entire human being, the biological, the social, the spiritual, um, the mental, emotional, all of these, the social, all of these areas coming together. And so when we're talking about helping our kids is to make sure that all these needs are being met, right? And we're having conversations, open, honest conversations, even as adults, sharing with our kids, age appropriate, of course, some of the struggles that we are also facing, to let them know that they are not alone in this thing. We are all in it. We are all experiencing it a little differently, but we're all experiencing this whole pandemic or the different challenges in this life together, so we're not alone. And also creating safe spaces where they can express themselves, as well as having downtime, relaxation time, doing practicing mindfulness, being present with self, exploring their emotions, accepting their emotions as normal. We have a culture where we're not supposed to feel certain things. Certain
Yeah.
emotions are supposed to be discarded or ignored, such as anger. That's not fair because it's denying your humanity, right? And when we do that, we're creating even more problems. So it's about accepting our emotions and learn how to express them healthily so that we can process them and work through them. And our children need this space. But as adults, we need to practice it so that we can teach it, because it makes no sense we tell our kids this is what you need to do, but they're observing you doing something different. In terms
I
of the
like
wider
that.
in terms of the wider community, it's about each one help one. Yes, we need to practice physical distance, but we can still support each other. Words of encouragement, words of kindness, love, respect. Put these things into practice. The church is also very vital. For a lot of us, we are Christians, or we have a religious affiliation, or we're just spiritual being. We practice spirituality. All of these can be used as grounding us so that we can remain centered, right? So that we can think clearly, right? And be patient with ourselves. That's another thing. We need to be patient with ourselves as we are being patient and tolerant with other persons, because again, we're all in this thing.
Wow, wow. Thank you so much for that, Veron.
Great
Pastor
thoughts
Sam?
there. Great. Yeah, great thoughts. We're just about going into another segment, but I want to just ask Bathsheba to maybe leave a 20-second comment to us. Anything you want to say, Bathsheba, to challenge the Jamaican society and the world. The world is listening to you. This is a global station. Smile and talk, Bathsheba.
We are going through a very challenging time, and you are not alone. You are not the only person feeling down, feeling all the different negative emotions, and it's okay to feel those emotions. But give your space and some kindness and appreciate your humanity. Get the support you need where it is needed. We don't have all the answers. Ask questions, seek help if you need, and just know that it is going to be okay. And your mental health matters. Let us focus on our holistic health, not just our physical health, but our complete health. Let us support each other as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Bathsheba and Verol, for sharing with us. I think we have to get you guys to come back again. I see Kim Rose here. She's on social media, on YouTube, actually saying, absolutely agree, Verol. She agrees with what you're saying about, in terms of those points about the community coming together and the importance of really just being honest and truthful with our children, and having that open conversation with them about how we are feeling, and open up. Hopefully, they will open up with us also. Thank you so much, Bathsheba. Also, continue to do a good job of raising awareness of mental health issues. Both of you guys to keep the good work.
Thank you for having
Thank
us.
you so much. And
Bye,
thanks for
bye,
having me.
Veron. Bye, Bathsheba.
Bye.
Bye bye.
All right, take care, guys. We also have Sharon Barnes here saying good evening to you all. She's loving this program. That's Sharon Barnes there, sharing with us on our YouTube page also. So we're loving that comments. Keep the comments coming. We appreciate the feedback on the program. Really appreciate it. So, Pastor Sam.
Well, my friend,
Time.
yes, it's now time, Floyd, for I Try Jesus, You Should Too. And so we invite you to listen and be blessed.
Ready to be do bada badang dang dang. Hey, where the student them see we are. Where the student them see we are. I want a one campus.
Hi, my name is Janina Stevens, and welcome to Love 101 Testimonial Feature. So today I am just going to share my testimony on God's transformation power. I remember I decided to walk with the Lord I made up in my mind to turn my life over to Christ fully at the start of grade 9 in high school, of course. And many persons were shocked by my decision because many persons didn't imagine me wanting to get baptized because of the type of person that I was. I was always that person with a strong personality, a person of fire, a fire personality. And so the least thing that somebody would do me, I would just snap at them and I would just give them a piece of my mind, and that was just it. And so having made up the decision to give my life to Christ, many persons, they doubted my decision. Many persons were saying, you're really sure that you really want to go into this? I'm like, yes, I know what I'm getting myself into, and I am going to try, and I know that I can make it. Many loved ones and friends, they were really concerned about my decision, but nevertheless, what they thought about me did not deter me from giving over my life to Christ. I remember in high school, I lost my friends. I lost my best friends because the place where God was taking me, I could not take them with me, and they could not contain the anointing that God had, the purpose that God had in my life. And so I lost all my friends. I really graduated high school with a few friends, which I met in sixth form. So I had to re-socialize because of losing those who I thought were my best friends. Yes, my experience, my journey has just been remarkable. From time to time, the Lord just blows my mind in the things that He does for me. The fact that He's always looking out for me, and the fact that even though persons thought that persons gave me like a few weeks, a few days to turn back, and God kept me, and those days turned into weeks, those weeks turned into months, and those months turned into years. And I've been serving God for 7 years. I've given over my life to Jesus for 7 years, and I don't regret it. I don't regret one moment, because God has been so good to me. And so I'm just telling you that I tried Jesus, and you should too. He works. Trust me. Try Him today.
Ready to be do bada dang dang dang. Hey, where the student them see are. Where the student them see are. I want a one on campus.
Yeah.
That's right. That's Janelle Stevens. That's a nice name to have, Stevens. And Janelle is actually a second-year student at the University of Technology, and she tried Jesus, and she's saying that you should try too. Oh, that's a good way, really, to put a wrap on this week's program.
Yeah, really loving that one by Janine there. God bless her for sharing that testimony. I want to thank everyone who joined us for another week of Campus Connection right here on Love 101. Thank you for making it one more week with us at Campus Connection. Stick right here 24/7 on Love 101.
Well, we want to say thanks, big thanks to Tony K. Bramfield. She's our producer, to Rashane Douglas for technical support. We also want to thank Raheem Betty, our education news partner for the month of April, and also to student Fabian Morris, Khadijah Parkins, and McKeel Phillips, who actually shared their experience after getting the jab.
Yeah, definitely. Also want to thank our guest in our Let's Talk About It segment, that's Miss Bathsheba Shaw, the Assistant Director there at the Jamaica Mental Health Advocacy Network, and also founder of Dope Empowerment. We're all Billet, Associate Clinical Psychologist. And I want to thank Janelle Stevens again, who shared in I Try Jesus, You Should Too feature. Loving it.
Well, until next week, please do remember to stay safe, sanitized, and inside. I'm Stevenson Samuels.
And Floyd Wilson. God bless. Walk good.
I love it there. Yeah.